Hello you fine ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? Today we have yet another loadout for Star Wars Battlefront, this time kicking it back to the Clone Wars era with none other than the Clone Trooper loadout. The Clone Trooper is a staple of the Galactic Republic, a commendable force on the battlefield led by the Jedi. Now of course there are no Clone Troopers in Star Wars Battlefront, but Stormtroopers don't look all that different from the Clone Troopers near the end of the Clone Wars, so they'll do just fine immersion wise. Now the Clone Trooper is able to pack quite a punch, whether with their thermal detonators or their blaster fire, as Clone Troopers are almost never found fighting alone and are mostly in squads. In Battlefront, however, your teammates may not always be so willing to work together with you, which is why the Clone Trooper loadout utilizes the explosive rounds charge card. Now you may say that the Clone Troopers did not use such a perk in the Clone Wars. Well, the explosive round card in a way simulates the power of multiple blasters firing at once, does it not? And Clone Troopers don't usually go into battle alone. It's also just a pretty good charge card to use, so that's the main reason why we're using it, but don't tell anyone. And what goes well with this charge card? Well, I will tell you. The Clone Trooper will be using the A280C blaster rifle. Firstly, overall, it's pretty similar to blasters used by the Clone Troopers in the Clone Wars, and secondly, it works well with the explosive shot star card. Or explosive round star card, I should say. Gotta be correct here, do we not? All around, the A280C is a great blaster due to its versatility, being able to handle pretty much all ranges in the game, though it's certainly most prominent at medium and close ranges. And you know what would make this blaster even better? Yes, that's right, the Berserker trait. Now unfortunately, this loadout does not use the Adrenaline Stim or Back to Bomb star cards, which effectively counter the slower health regeneration evoked by the Berserker trait. However, I didn't actually find it to be that much of a problem with this build, as the thermal detonator and shock grenade used by the Clone Trooper make for effective getaways if you find yourself in a pinch. And yes, I agree, these star cards are quite lore friendly. Clone Troopers use thermal detonators of course, but also used shock grenades to stun droids. The only difference of course is that shock grenades in Battlefront stun other players. Now, as you may know, the shock grenade was newly introduced to the game in the Bespin DLC, and you must complete a hot contract called Security to unlock this star card. I actually found this hut contract on the harder side to complete, as you must arm and disarm 5 objectives in the new Sabotage game mode. Now, I'm not quite sure why I found this one so hard to complete, but most of the time I played as Rebels, which meant I couldn't complete the disarm objective, and when I did play as Imperials, I wasn't usually the one getting to the objective the quickest and disarming it. When I was there first, the objective would be surrounded with Rebels and I would have no chance to disarm it. However, after some time I was able to complete the contract and receive the star card, which is certainly a useful tool for certain circumstances. When playing the objective, game modes and a bunch of enemies are surrounding said objective, throwing the shock grenade onto the objective can stun a lot of them, which makes them very easy to take out. Also, if you're trying to defend or attack through a hallway or a narrow location, the shock grenade is really good for that type of engagement. Now that we've discussed all the different abilities of the Clone Trooper loadout, it's time to discuss it as a whole and determine its strengths and weaknesses. As for what ranges this loadout can handle, well, I didn't even try going on those large scale maps and open maps because I knew I just would not do very well on those maps, especially with this loadout, seeing as it has these shock grenades and this thermal detonator and of course the Berserker trait. Those things don't really go too well with open map areas and encounters. And especially the Berserker trait, I find it's far better at closer range maps where you can get those kill streaks up quickly. That's exactly what I meant to say. Quicker. I'm sorry. Quicker. And I definitely prefer using a trait like Scout, as any concealment I can get on those open maps is very, very beneficial. But again, this loadout could still work on those maps depending on your playstyle. So I decided to play on medium and close range maps for this loadout. Jabba's Palace is a great one. Any maps from the Outer Rim DLC are very, very well suited for this loadout. Also, I went on a little bit of Bespin. They're okay. Some of the maps are good for medium range, so it works, although there are some large open maps in the Bespin DLC. So I think definitely the Outer Rim DLC has some really good maps to offer that tailor very well to this loadout. Now, I definitely thought that this loadout was quite powerful and definitely worth giving a go. The A280C is, of course, a pretty solid blaster, and paired with the Berserker trait, it can be very, very powerful. But you definitely want to get that trait up to rank 3 as quickly as possible, because it does put you at a weak, well, it is a weakness, really, if it's not up to rank 3, because of that slower health regeneration, and this loadout doesn't use anything to counter it, like an adrenaline stim or a backed bomb. So definitely try and get that up to rank 3 quicker than you would usually try and get a rank up, I guess. But that doesn't make too much sense. But just get it up to rank 3 very quickly, and it will definitely benefit you. So that's it for the Clone Trooper loadout. Other than that slower health regeneration, I didn't really see any other blatant weaknesses with it. So definitely give it a go, and that is all. So if you enjoyed, I'm glad. If you want to subscribe, feel free to do so. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.